look at this beauty. My mac and cheese pepper steak pie. Look at that. How does it taste, you ask? The mac and cheese by itself. The peppered steak by itself. Let's make this. Here I've got some rump steak, which I've washed and cleaned in lemon juice and vinegar. And now what we need to do is just make some thin slices. So the thinner you can get them, the better. But they don't need to be any thicker than that. Now your steak's in a bowl, add in your onion. You finely chopped Scotch bonnet, optional of course. We have our peppers, red, gold and green, Caribbean colours. In here I've got some ginger and some garlic which I've finely grated. And then here's our spices. There's nutmeg. I'll leave a list below for them. Get those in. You want in about a tablespoon of soy sauce. You need about 2 teaspoons of browning. Be careful with this stuff, it's dangerous. And then you need a tablespoon of oyster sauce. Get that in. Now, glove up and give it a good mix. Once it's all mixed, cover the bowl and put it in the fridge, or put it all in a Ziploc bag and then let that marinate overnight. You can do 4 hours, overnight's best. So I've got my slow cooker out. You don't have to slow cook it, you can fry the meat off first and then add some water and a beef stock cube, then let that simmer for 2 or 3 hours. But I'm going to slow cook mine. Get this in. Next, I'm going to add in some beef stock. Now I'm just going to cover that, cook it on low for about 4.5 to 5 hours. So get your hot salty water boiling and then in with your macaroni. Boil that for about 10 minutes. Now it's time to drain. Back on the heat with our pan and we're going to drop in some butter and melt that down. Once the butter's melted, keep it moving and slowly add in some plain flour until a roux forms. Once the roux's formed, add in your milk, bit by bit, it's very thick enough. Keep stirring. Then we're going to introduce our spices, onion powder, garlic powder, paprika, pimento and the black pepper. Get them all in. Keep on stirring. Next, introduce the onions, finely chopped. Get them all in. Keep on stirring. Now for the cheese. In here, I've got Red Leicester, I've got Cheddar, I've got Gouda and I've got some mozzarella, just a mix. Just start adding that in slowly and stirring. Just keep adding it a handful at a time till it melts. I think that's ready for the macaroni. Stringy enough. In with the macaroni. Make sure it's all coated in that delicious cheesiness. Just before I take it off the heat, some mustard. And one final stir. So my peppered steak's done, looks delicious. Don't forget to take the thyme stalks out. Look at that. So using a slotted spoon, get rid of the most of that gravy. And there's our dish. Just going to add that to a layer in the bottom. Now, let's get our macaroni on. That's looking and smelling amazing. Get the rest of your cheese. I'm just going to sprinkle that over the top. Liberally. Oven's preheated to 180. I'm going to slam this in for about 20 minutes. All the sauce from the steak, keep that, let it cool, and you can freeze it. That's an amazing gravy. Spicy! Just look at that. Let it cool a bit before I get into it. Let's get into it. Look at that. That steak. And there it is. Look at that. Mac and cheese pepper steak pie. I'm going to eat this now.